A young boy once stood at the edge of a vast river. On the other side lay a village filled with light, music, and laughter. But between him and that village was water so deep, so wide, it seemed impossible to cross. The boy had no boat, no bridge, only trembling legs and a heart heavy with fear. Every evening, he watched others swim across, their courage carrying them where he longed to be. He wanted to follow, but his mind whispered, "You will drown. You are too weak. You are not ready." And so he stood there, day after day, trapped not by the river, but by the voice inside his own head. The boy stood at the river's edge every day, his eyes fixed on the village glowing across the water. He could hear laughter echoing from the other side, see lanterns dancing like stars in the night, and watch people move freely as if life itself had opened its arms to them. Yet he remained where he was, his feet pressed into the dirt, his spirit chained by a single thought: I cannot. The river was wide, yes. The currents were strong, yes, but it wasn't the water that kept him back. It was the weight of his own doubt. One morning, when the sun rose and painted the sky with fire, the boy noticed something different. A man, older and scarred, stood beside him. His face was weathered, his clothes torn, but his eyes carried a strange brightness. He asked the boy, "Why do you stay here?" The boy lowered his head. "The river is too wide. I will fail." The man smiled faintly and replied, "Failure is not in the river. Failure is in the heart that never tries." With that, he stepped into the water and began swimming. The boy watched in silence as the man, though slow and tired, pushed forward stroke by stroke until he reached the other side. He didn't glide. He struggled, but he reached. That image stayed with the boy like fire in his chest. That night he could not sleep. He thought about how long he had been standing still while the world moved on. He thought about how the voice inside him had stolen years and how fear had dressed itself as safety. And he realized something. If he didn't act now, he might spend his whole life waiting by this river, wishing for courage that never comes. The next dawn, the boy placed his foot in the cold water. His body shook, his mind screamed, but still he moved, step by step, until the ground disappeared beneath him and he was forced to swim. The river pulled him down, waves crashed against him, and for a moment he thought the whispers were right. But then he remembered the man's words. Failure was not in the river. Failure was in the heart that never tries. And so, stroke by stroke, with lungs burning and arms aching, he fought forward. The current pushed, but he pushed harder. And when his hand finally touched the stones of the opposite shore, the boy broke down in tears, not because he had crossed the river, but because he had broken the chains that once kept him from trying. That boy is each of us. We all stand at our own rivers. For some, the river is procrastination. For others, it is fear of failure, fear of rejection, or the endless comfort of waiting for the right time. We stare at what we want: success, peace, growth, love, but we stay on the bank, convincing ourselves we cannot swim. Yet the truth is simple. The river will never shrink, the current will never weaken, and courage will never arrive fully formed. The only way across is to step in, trembling, unsure, but willing. Life rewards those who move, not those who wait. Every dream lies on the other side of discomfort. Every goal lives beyond fear. And the greatest battles are not fought in mountains or fields, but in the quiet corners of our own minds, where doubt whispers louder than any storm. Discipline is the act of stepping into the water even when you are terrified. Self-belief is the strength that carries you through the waves when your body begs you to stop. The river will test you. You will feel pulled under. You will feel your energy slipping, and there will be moments where surrender feels easier. But every stroke you take weakens the voice of fear. Every inch you move forward proves that you are more than your hesitation. And when you finally touch the far shore, when you stand breathless but victorious, you realize the greatest victory was never against the river. It was against yourself. The boy who once stood trembling on the bank discovered that courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward while fear clings to you. It is breaking the chains of doubt by acting in spite of it. And once you do, the world opens. You see that the village of light, the dream, the freedom you long for was never unreachable. It was waiting for the day you stopped listening to your weakness and started trusting your strength. The truth is this: every great life is built by ordinary people who dared to step in, not when they were ready, not when they were fearless, but when they were trembling, unsure, and full of doubt. They began anyway. And so, remember, your river is not stronger than you. Your fear is not greater than your will. Your chains are not unbreakable. The only question is, will you stand on the shore for the rest of your life, or will you step into the water and swim? One choice can change everything.